Imagine traveling faster than a plane but at the cost of a train. In 2013, Elon Musk introduced the Hyperloop, a transport system designed to reach 1,220 kilometers per hour. He even called it the fifth mode of transport.
Have a lot of travel between them, below about 500 miles of distance, where I think the Hyperloop would be.
The whole idea feels like something you might see in a space cartoon. People packed into a pod, blasted across hundreds of kilometers in mere minutes. Sounds like the stuff of fiction, not science, but consider the source.
I have a name for it, which is called the Hyperloop.
Looking system. The idea is to use magnetic levitating technology to whisk passengers and cargo in pods through low-pressure tubes. All this at speeds of up to 750 miles or 1,200.
But this idea isn't new. It actually dates back over 200 years. So how does it work? What's holding it back? And could it really change the way we travel? What exactly is Hyperloop technology? If you wanted to travel at the fastest speed, what would hold you back the most? The biggest challenges are friction and aerodynamic drag. For centuries, engineers have worked on ways to reduce this resistance using different techniques. In the 18th and 19th centuries, they even experimented with pneumatic transport, a system that used air pressure to move goods and passenger carriages. The idea that later gave birth to the Hyperloop transport system first appeared in 1904, when the concept of magnetic levitation was proposed to minimize friction. However, despite an entire century passing, no significant process was made to turn it into reality. Then, in 2013, Elon Musk brought the idea back into the spotlight. He published a white paper called Hyperloop Alpha, making the design open source for anyone to develop.
News. Last year, Tesla Motors CEO Elon Musk revealed plans for the Hyperloop, a subterranean transit system intended to get passengers from Los Angeles to San Francisco in 30 minutes. Since the reveal, however, the project went quiet, with Musk opening the idea up for others to pursue, and more than a year later, others.
Let's try to understand its design. So, basically, there are three main components. First is the tube, which is a sealed, low-pressure vacuum tunnel that removes aerodynamic drag, allowing objects to move through it with minimal energy loss. These tubes can be built above ground, underground, or even underwater. The second is the pod. It is like a cargo capsule that floats inside the tube using magnetic levitation, or maglev, coming on it in a moment. Since it doesn't have wheels, it avoids friction and can reach speeds of up to 1,200 kilometers per hour. Third is the propulsion and levitation system, which lifts the pod above the track using maglev and propels it forward using linear induction motors. This ensures a smooth, contactless ride. This combination of vacuum tubes, levitating pods, and advanced propulsion makes Hyperloop one of the most futuristic and energy-efficient transport ideas ever proposed. Now, I've kept it simple so that anyone new to Hyperloop can understand the basics. However, if you have more questions regarding the design and working of the Hyperloop system, let me know in the comments. How is it different from other modes of transportation? Hyperloop is often called the fifth mode of transport because it's fundamentally different from existing transportation systems like cars, trains, airplanes, and ships. Unlike traditional rail systems, which operate on steel tracks with friction between wheels and rails, Hyperloop floats in the air to eliminate direct contact. This allows it to reach speeds of up to 1,200 kilometers per hour, while high-speed trains like Japan Shinkansen max out at around 600 kilometers per hour. Even commercial airplanes, which typically fly at 800 to 900 kilometers per hour, are only slightly faster than Hyperloop. However, they require airports and long boarding times, while Hyperloop aims to offer near-instant departures.
If we can bring airplane speeds to the ground sustainably and safely,
In terms of infrastructure, Hyperloop operates in low-pressure tubes that can be elevated on pylons, reducing land use and avoiding intersections with roads or railways. This makes it different from maglev trains like in China, Japan, and South Korea, which still operate in open-air environments and face aerodynamic drag. The enclosed tube section of the Hyperloop eliminates air resistance, allowing higher speeds with less energy consumption. Energy efficiency is another key difference. Cars and airplanes rely heavily on fossil fuels, while even electric trains require large amounts of continuous power from the grid. Hyperloop is designed to use renewable energy sources, like solar panels placed on the tubes, potentially making it more sustainable. Additionally, since it runs in a controlled tube environment, it is less affected by weather disruptions, unlike trains and flights, which can face delays due to storms or fog. 2013 to 2022, the real progress in Hyperloop. Right after Musk's idea in 2013, several companies jumped in to turn Hyperloop into reality. One of the first and most dedicated was Virgin Hyperloop, also known as Hyperloop One. Within just a few years, Hyperloop One had conducted 400 crewless tests. Then in 2020, it became the first company to successfully test a Hyperloop system with human passengers, reaching a top speed of 172 kilometers per hour.
That was so good! That was awesome.
This success led Hyperloop One to secure contracts with India, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and several European countries to develop Hyperloop projects. However, what happened after 2020 was unexpectedly disappointing. We'll get into that in a moment. Hyperloop One wasn't the only company working on this futuristic transport. Others like Hyperloop TT and Heart Hyperloop also made significant progress. A team at MIT developed an early Hyperloop pod prototype using electrodynamic suspension. In July 2017, Musk himself hinted at his own involvement, tweeting that he had received verbal government approval to build a Hyperloop connecting Washington, D.C. and New York City. However, there were no major updates after that, as Musk and his companies, SpaceX and the Boring Company, seemed to focus on other priorities. That same year, a team from the Technical University of Munich set a Hyperloop speed record of 467 kilometers per hour. Between 2013 and 2023, Hyperloop technology saw rapid advancements and bold experiments. However, alongside progress, this decade also exposed the real challenges and limitations of making Hyperloop a practical reality. Challenges. Now, if we look closely at Hyperloop technology, it's not just full of pros, it also comes with serious challenges. These challenges mainly fall into three categories: financial, safety, and regulatory issues. First, a financial challenge. Building long vacuum-sealed tubes across cities or countries is extremely expensive. The cost of land, construction, and advanced technology makes it difficult to secure funding. This is exactly why companies like Hyperloop One went bankrupt. They simply couldn't raise enough investment to continue. Second, a safety challenge. Traveling at 1,200 kilometers per hour in a sealed tube brings major safety concerns. What happens in the case of an accident? How do you evacuate passengers? The extreme speed could also cause motion sickness and G-force discomfort. Plus, maintaining a perfect vacuum over long distances is incredibly difficult. A single leak could be catastrophic.
A group of researchers from the UK showed last year that at such high speeds as the Hyperloop is supposed to go, the risk of resonance catastrophes significantly increases.
Third, regulatory and land use challenges. Hyperloop requires massive areas of land to build straight tubes because sharp curves at high speeds are dangerous. Securing government approvals for such large-scale projects is a slow and complex process. There are also environmental concerns, especially when construction affects populated areas or sensitive ecosystems. These challenges make it difficult for Hyperloop to become a reality anytime soon. However, ongoing research and technological advancements are aiming to overcome these hurdles in the future. Future of Hyperloop. Even though Hyperloop still seems like a moonshot, multiple companies are actively working on making it a reality. The key reasons behind this are the growing need for faster travel, sustainability, and rapid urbanization. As cities expand, traditional transport systems struggle to keep up, making it essential to develop safer and more cost-effective alternatives like Hyperloop. Until 2023, the global Hyperloop technology market was valued at $1.83 billion and is expected to grow to $8.12 billion by 2030. Some reports even predict it could reach $10.87 billion by 2029. This rapid growth is fueled by government support, increased investments in research, and collaborations between tech companies. North America currently holds the largest market share, but Asia-Pacific, especially China, is expected to lead future developments. China could even launch its first Hyperloop system by 2035. Companies like Hyperloop Transportation Technologies, Transpod, Heart, and Zeleros are already working on prototypes and test tracks to bring this vision to life. In 2024, Heart, a Dutch company, achieved a successful test of Hyperloop technology.
With the first successful test, we were able to levitate the vehicle, also turn on the guidance system and the propulsion system. Then we moved the vehicle to our launch position about 20 meters into the tube, and then we launched it with an acceleration similar to that of a metro, up to a top speed of about 30 kilometers an hour, about 100 meters in the pipe, and that's when we reached the success.
Jonas Christiansen Noland, an associate professor at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, who researches zero-emission propulsion systems, told Al Jazeera, "Now we're getting closer to making it a reality." While the initial hype around Hyperloop systems has waned, the fact that the concept is still being pursued in multiple parts of the world has Noland convinced that a working model is drawing closer. He further added, "I think we will eventually see this technology play a role in the future. It is just a matter of where it will first emerge as a competitive alternative." Now, if we look at history, airplanes took around 20 to 40 years to evolve from early prototypes to fully functional models. Similarly, bullet trains require over 15 years to become a reality. Based on this pattern, it's reasonable to believe that Hyperloop technology will eventually overcome its challenges and become the revolutionary fifth mode of transport, just as Elon Musk described. So, what do you think about this futuristic transport system? Share your thoughts in the comments, and for more informative videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.